Haiti borders with the Dominican.
Her name is Serena Buffalino. They call her Mrs. B, and her class always begins with a pledge.
Something local, something global. Haiti.
They're words that carry weight here. Helping yourself means helping others, giving back, here and a world away in Haiti.
And nobody's helping them, except for people like us.
It was through her the class learned of Haiti, of the nearly 1 million orphans, many with no school, no support, no Mrs. B in their lives.
They could not wrap their head around that.
Mrs. B's students are among Toronto's most at risk. Their challenges vary from emotional and behavioral difficulties to learning disabilities. Their trauma is so severe they can't function in a regular school setting, and we aren't allowed to show most of their classmates.
For most of the kids, most of society has turned them away. And in this classroom, they're accepted. They're accepted no matter what for who they are.
Take Yolanda. She came here last year so burdened and withdrawn, she would often fall silent, sometimes for days on end. It was, she says, Mrs. B's patience, her quiet encouragement, that saved her.
She actually saves people's lives from dangers.
And perhaps that's why these marginalized kids feel such a kinship with the orphans of Haiti, and why they were moved to act.
And so when Yolanda and Jackie and Patrick said, well, Miss B, we need to build them a school.
Build a school, no easy task. They started out raising money. They sold samosas, washed cars, screened movies, you name it. And in just a few months, this little class raised $20,000. So much, it's not just a one-room schoolhouse they can build, but a full 3-story school. And so Mrs. B set off on a journey she'd dreamed of, up into the dusty mountains above Port-au-Prince to a town called Canaan. It's home to thousands of earthquake refugees who live with no running water, no electricity, and no school, until now. The first step was a temporary school. It's up and running. 53 students already in uniform. The permanent school for 250 is growing from its foundations.
It makes me want to cry because she just makes me feel so awed, and I'm very proud of her.
All of this because of a handful of students back in Canada, and Mrs. B, the teacher who believed in them.
These are for you.
At another fundraiser, a special tribute to the students, accepted by someone who, without Mrs. B, might not be here.
They believe in me and I believe in them, and together we not only change our lives, but we change the world around us.
For inspiring great things and seeing the potential in everyone, Serena Buffalino is this week's Everyday Hero.
This is the reason why I do what I do, is because of Yolanda and all the...
Hello, everyone. Good morning. Happy Monday. Hello, Barbara. Hello to the audience out there. This is Monday, and like everybody knows, Monday is my favorite day of the week because we get to erase everything that happened in the past. One of my great mentors used to say, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why they call it the present. Okay, and that was Master Oogway from Kung Fu Panda, one of my great mentors. Okay, so Monday, forget about the things that have happened in the past. Celebrate those things that have happened in the past, because remember, if you didn't win, you got an opportunity to learn. So let's continue to move forward. So today I want to kind of tell you a little story about my father. Speaking about mentors, my father was one of my great mentors in the art world and the thinking about my future world, the idea there. My father was a craftsman, okay, but never got an opportunity to be the craftsman that he deserved to be. He could fix anything and everything. And so here's to you, Dad. He was a brilliant man, okay, without any formal education, but he just knew so much. And he encouraged us to do the things that we loved. Now, my father wasn't an artist in like paint and canvas or pen and paper, but he was an artist because he could see things and he could fix things and he could build things, and he just created wonderful, wonderful things. And I would like to say that he passed on a lot to me. When we were younger, I used to love to draw, and I used to draw on anything and everything. And really, I drew on a lot of things I wasn't supposed to draw on, but my father was tolerant because he wanted to inspire my dream. So he used to come home from work with, at that time, was butcher paper, because it was the biggest paper he could find. And he'd find these big sheets of paper, and he'd lay them on the table, and he'd tell me, draw for me, draw something for me. And I'd sit there going, well, what do you want me to draw? He goes, draw anything. Just, I want to sit here and I want to watch you draw. He loved the idea that I found something that I really loved to do, and it was something I was good at. And that pleased him, and he wanted to sit there and watch me. And one of the funny things was I used to draw something a little bit, and then I would turn the paper and keep like drawing a circle, and I would turn it and keep drawing it. And he'd go, what are you moving the paper for? And I said, well, because I'm trying to draw this circle. And he'd say, no, leave the paper as it is. He goes, in life, you can't change everything. You have to adapt to what life gives you. And I was like, yeah, but Dad, life given me the ability to move the paper, so I'm going to move the paper. And he'd say, all right. But he goes, but think about this. Sometimes you might have to draw something somewhere where you can't move the paper. And I kind of thought that was kind of corny, but I said, okay, I understood it, and it stuck with me. So it's kind of interesting that today I have a dry erase board, and I'm going to draw a couple of things for you to get my point across. And it's interesting because if I can't draw on this, I can't really flip this around. So thank you again, Dad. So getting back to with my dad, we were talking, and I would sit there and I would draw stuff, and he would say, oh, go ahead, draw something for me. And I said, okay, what would you like me to draw? And he goes, again, draw whatever you want. I said, no, Dad, I want to draw something for you. So he'd reach in his pocket one day, and I remember him pulling out a key. Okay. And he said, here, can you draw this? Just a key. And I said, okay. And I went to grab it, and he put it away. And he said, no, draw the key from memory. I want to see your interpretation of the key. And I said, all right, I've seen a key, so I could draw it. So I grabbed that paper and pencil that he gave me. And what I did was I drew the head of the key, how I kind of remembered it. And I said, okay. And then there's cuts in the key, and the key comes kind of like that, right? And he goes, okay, that's cool. That looks like a key. But he goes, now make it your key. How do you interpret it? What can you do out of that key? And I was like, what can I do? It's a key. And he goes, no, make it yours. Specialize it. Make this Marty's key. So I thought about it, and I said, okay, well, there is more detail in it. There's these grooves in it. There's a hole in here like so, and I can add some depth to the key. All right. And he goes, yeah, that looks more like a key. But he goes, make it your key. And I said, all right. And so then I said, fine. So what did I do? I came back. I'm going to switch here. And I said, fine, this is how I picture it. I'm going to make it this little face on the key, and I'm going to make these legs coming out of it. There, I made a little key man. And my dad laughed and he said, excellent. He goes, beautiful. He goes, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what was inside your heart, what was inside your brain. That's beautiful. And he goes, that's the secret of life, Marty. And I said, that's the secret of life? A key guy, right? A guy that looks like a key? He goes, yes, you made a key guy. And in future, what I want you to think about for yourself, for the relationships you're in, for the companies you work for, I always want you to be not just a regular person, not just part of the organization, but I want you to be a key person, a key guy in that organization, in that relationship. And I was like, what? I don't understand. So he said, look, if you don't mind me drawing, and my dad could draw a couple things. So he grabbed a new sheet of paper and he said, look, in life, this is you. So this is me right here. That's my goals, my dreams, my aspirations. And he said, that's beautiful. We all need those things. And I goes, and that's great. Now over here, he goes, are my aspirations, my goals. And I thought to myself, wow, I never thought of that. Yeah, as a little kid, I have my goals, my dreams, the things I wanted to do, but I never realized that my dad also had dreams and goals and aspirations. And at that age, I didn't think about that. Now, when we talk about this in life, we sit here and we go, when I'm in a relationship, the other person I'm with has dreams and aspirations and goals. When I'm selling something, the customer I'm dealing with has aspirations, dreams, and goals as well. And so to be successful, I've got to think about my goals and I've got to think about their goals. Now he said, now what happens is you draw a third circle, and that is us. Okay, that's together. That's the goals that both of us want to reach together. And that's when it started clicking in with me. Think about this. When I sit here and I go, when I have my goals, the things I want to do in life, and you have your goals, okay, what can I do to help you reach your goals? What can you do to help me reach my goals? And together, what can we do to reach our goals? And to be successful in a company, in a sales transaction, to be successful in a relationship, what you want to do is concentrate on this area right here, okay? Because that's the stuff that's going to make me happy. And the happier I am, the better the job I'm going to do. And this is work, this is useful for the company. So this is how I become a key guy in that company. Okay. This is how my dad becomes a key guy in that us relationship. Okay. And I thought that's cool. But my dad goes, there's even more to it, because if you take this and you say, sometimes my goals here actually overlap here. And my goals and my father's goals, or my goals and my customer's goals, overlap. And there's that spot here that's wonderful. I still have this part for the ultimate goal, but now we overlap. But this spot right here, that's the golden spot. That's the best spot in the world, because in that spot, I have met my goals. All right, think about that. I've met my goals by working here. I have met his goals, or my customer's goals, my wife's goals, my children's goals. Anybody I'm in a relationship with, I've helped them meet their goals. And together we've met our goals. He goes, find that spot. That's the spot you want to find right there. And I thought, man, that is incredible. How did this guy who worked construction his entire life figure that out? All from me drawing a picture of a little key. Okay. This guy, like I said, was brilliant. He was beyond his day. He was such a forward thinker because he wanted more for me. I asked him about some of his dreams, and he said, well, what are your dreams, Marty? And I said, oh, one day I want to be a cartoonist. When I grow up, I want to be a cartoonist. I want to draw for Mad Magazine. I want to write jokes and be funny there. I want to make $1 million. Probably at that point in my life, I was probably excited to say, I want to make $1,000. Okay. So I was listing all these kind of things that I wanted to do. Me. My dad, what were your dreams, Dad? And he said, I'd like to raise a happy family. I'd like to be remembered about something. I would like to be quoted. I would like to just be remembered as a good person. I would like to feel I've accomplished something. And I remember thinking as a little kid, boring. Okay, like what kind of dreams were those? But now as I'm getting older, I realize those are the really important dreams. Those are the ones that he reached down deep in his soul and he figured out what he wanted to do. Together, our dreams together were that whole thing. Build a happy family, help each other in the family, and help us all be successful. And I was able to, I believe, by just quoting my father, he's remembered. So I'm helped him reach some of his goals. He used to bring me that paper and those pens and those markers all the time. So he'd help me reach my goal. And yes, together we've created a happy family. And so he helped me help him reach our goals. Now, this is my relationship with my dad. And you might be sitting there going, wait a second, I thought this show was called You're Selling Too Hard. And it is. And I want you to think about this. Too often what we do is we concentrate on me, everything, what do I want? And we forget about the customer. Because remember, if you're not having fun, you're selling too hard. I want you to think about that. So when you, whether you are convincing yourself that it's time to switch careers, whether it's you talking to your father, convincing him to bring you more paper, or whether it's you going to your boss and asking for more responsibility, you are always selling. You're always selling yourself. It could be a product or service, but it could be so much more. And if you're not enjoying that, if you're really not identifying your goals, then you are just selling too hard. And I don't want you to do that. I want you to enjoy life. Now, the coolest thing later on in life, I used to think about this all the time. And in my relationships, I always said, what do I want? What does the other person want? And what do we want together? In a sales conversation, I always said, what do I want? I obviously want to sell the product. What does the customer want? They need that product or they want that product because it's solving certain problems that they're having. It's solving the pain that they have. And I have the solution. What do we want together? We want a win-win. We want to be able to say that we got the right product at the right price that solves the correct problems. And I want to be able to sell it at enough money where I can make a commission. Let's be honest. That's the whole deal. So by working with these three circles, we found some unity here and everyone walks away happy. Okay. I can't say that I've always sold that way. Sometimes I concentrated on the me and that circle got bigger and bigger and bigger. Okay. And some customers walked away, maybe not satisfied. But now I realize that you've got to satisfy the customer as much as you satisfy yourself, because that customer will be loyal to you forever. Now, what's interesting, I explained this to somebody, and he introduced me to a concept called IKIGAI. Okay, I hope you can see that. It's IKIGAI. It's also sometimes spelled IKEGAI. And this is called Ikigai. Ikigai, it's a Japanese term. And it's beautiful because I sit here going, wow, somebody else created the same thing my dad did years and years and years ago. But they must have had a better publicist. So with the Ikigai, what they talk about is number one, is come up with a circle, create a circle. And this circle is the things that you love. Okay, these are the things you absolutely love to do. And don't worry, I'll show you an easy way to do this. You don't have to sit there and draw the circles at this point. But these are the things that you love to do. This is what I say is, what's your inner bacon? Okay, what's the stuff that gets you up out of bed, dancing and ready to go? Okay, for me, as you all know, it's that smell of bacon. Okay, I love bacon, everything about it. So in this list of things I love, I'm going to list bacon. I'm going to list my wife, my children, my dog, that kind of stuff. Those are the easy things. But I want you to get down deep inside and write some things that you really love to do. Okay. Some people say, I like riding a bike. Some people say, I like knitting. I love walking. I love speaking. I love cartooning. I love drawing. I love being in front of the camera. Those are the things. The longer the list, the deeper down you'll get, the deeper in your heart you're going to get. And start out by writing a list of 5 to 10 things. And eventually every other day or so, add a few more. And you will grow this long list of things that you love. And if you do nothing else, that's cool, because you can always keep that list with you. And if you're ever having a bad day, look at that list and you got a long list of things to be grateful for. Okay, so that's one reason. The other reason is we're going to find more out about you. So after you do this list of the things you love, what you're going to do is draw another circle. And these are the things that you're good at. These are the things you're good at. And notice how they overlap. And this is what I want you to do. Is notice how I really made them overlap a lot. The things you love, the things you're good at. And this sweet spot here, that's your passion. Man, if you really love something and you're really good at it, that's the thing. That's the thing that you really want to be doing. That's how you want to spend most of your time. But how do you make a career out of that? So the next step is you come over here, you draw another circle, and this circle is need. What does the world need? Is it just because I love bacon and I'm good at eating bacon doesn't mean the world needs that. I can't make any money at that. Okay, so I have to find some of the things that I'm good at, that I love doing, and I love public speaking. I love taking complex problems and making them easier to understand. I think I'm pretty good at it. All right, and the world needs it. Yeah, so I'm well on my way. Now the last one, you draw one more circle that's down here, and that is dollars. Can I get paid for something? All right. And this is where it really comes to true. This is where you suddenly take your dreams and you turn them into a career. Okay. This is a perfect way. When I was doing product development, I would look at it and saying, do I love this? Is this something that is meaningful to me? Is it something that I'm good at? Because anyone can build a product, but you've got to find something that's meaningful to you, something that you really love. You've got to be able to build it in a way that you're good at it. If you're not good at it, then find engineers, programmers, etc. to do it for you. Build that team so that you are good at it as a team. Is it something the world needs? Is it the product that the world needs? If that's true, awesome. And lastly, can you make money at it? And if you can do that, man, you got this section right here. That's that sweet section. Again, that's called the Ikigai right there. In life, if you can find a job that you love, a job that you're good at, a job that the world needs, a product or service that you can provide that the world needs, and you can make money at it, you will be extremely happy. Extremely happy. I guarantee it. Now, I want you to really think about this. And I know I'm going really fast today. So what I'm going to do is, last week, you probably remember, I was offering this sheet of paper, which is your goals sheet. Okay, this kind of gives you an opportunity to write some goals, long-term goals, and it's a pattern in order to get back to what you have to do today to accomplish this week's goals, this month's goals, etc. So this week, what I'm going to offer you is this. It's another form that helps you concentrate on these two areas, what you love and what you're good at. And so what I'm going to do here is switch really quick. And I'm going to come over here and tell you, this is what you're looking at, is the things you love to do, the things that you're good at, what the world needs, and lastly, what you can get paid for. Okay? What you want to do is find that spot in the center. You want to get to that center. That's what I hope you can all do. And this first sheet is going to help you do that. And how you get this sheet, and I'll explain the sheet in a second, is this. This sheet is broken down into two pieces. One is called What's Your Bacon? Okay? And the other is What You're Great At. And you can use this sheet pretty easy. What you do is just fill these out. Try to come up with your top 10 things that you really love to do and the top 10 things that you're really great at. And then just follow the instructions on the sheet. You're going to number them. You're going to prioritize them, rank them, saying, like giving a 10 to this one, a 1 to this one, what's most important. And by the time you're done, you're going to get to the bottom and you're going to find the thing that's the most important to you. Okay, the thing that you can really, really accomplish. Now, I like to think that my dad's looking down at me from heaven and he's saying, great job. Thank you for sharing this message. He's probably also saying, Marty, slow down the message a little bit. The people are there. They want to learn from you. Okay. And I'm like, okay, Dad, I'm trying. I'm working on it. So because I went back and I explained to you that this is a complex system, but I really want you to take your time with it. You can't go as fast as I was. This is a lifetime of work. This is every time you're in a slump. Let's say it's a sales slump. Let's say that you're having a problem in your relationship. You're just not feeling it. It's Monday morning. You wake up and you're like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen today. I want you to sit back, start looking at that list that you made of the things you love. Start checking out the things that you're really good at. Okay, get back to your passion. All right, those areas that really that get you up and dancing. Okay, look at what the world needs, because I'm telling you, if you're selling a product that you think the world needs, you love selling, and you can get paid at it, but you really don't think it's a good product, you're never going to feel good about it. You're always going to be stressed about it. You're going to develop anxiety. If you love a product and it's a good working product and you can get paid for it, but the world doesn't really need it, you're going to feel unfulfilled. All right. If you love the product and it's a good working product, or it's a good service that you offer and the world needs it, but you can't get paid for it, man, you're going to sit there going, yeah, I feel kind of happy, but I'm broke. And too often, what I see, people are offering products or services too often that they can get paid for. They look at this one first and they go, how much money can I make? Okay. And then they go, okay, and maybe the world needs it. And that's the direction they head in. How much money can I make? And maybe the world needs it. From there, they look at, okay, am I good at it? Yeah, I can improve my skills. But they look at what they love to do. And that satisfaction they get, they look at that last. And I'm asking you to flip your world upside down. Start with what you love to do. Do that first, because you only have one life. We're going to live to maybe our mid 80s, hopefully. You have only one life. That means you have 80 springs, you have 80 winters. Okay, you have 80 falls, 80 summers. Find something that you love every single day. Find those things that you love. Find those things that you're good at. Discover what the world needs. Supply it, and you will be successful. You will make money. And I'm not talking about just products and services. I'm talking about everything. I'm talking about how you contribute to your company, how you approach your sales presentations every single day, how you approach your personal relationships, how you deal with your children. It's everything involved in there. Now, I hope you start with this sheet that I'm offering you. This is a great first sheet. And obviously, if you ever have any questions, you can always contact me. Go to masterhappiness.com, the secret. But this sheet is free of charge to all the people who follow the Diamond Factor. And it's hidden. If you go to the site, masterhappiness.com, the secret, you go to that, you'll see some screens. And up here in the corner, if I can get it right, up here in the corner is this little television set that reminds you to watch this show every Monday. Underneath it is a little picture of a diamond. All right, I want you to find it. Most people will look at this. They won't know what the diamond is, but the diamond reminds you you're part of the Diamond Factor experience. And I want you to click on that and you'll download this sheet. The sheet's only going to be up there for a week. Until next week, we're going to change it. We're going to create something new. You won't be able to get last week's sheet anymore. And after a week, you won't be able to get this. So download it right away. If you look at it and go, Marty, I want that original sheet, or the time passed and I didn't get this one, contact me at masterhappiness.com, the secret. I'll be there for you. I will always help you out, just like everyone else, all the other experts on this show. There's some exciting things happening in the Diamond Factor experience. Some things that are happening in May that are going to change this around. This program is going to explode with excitement and energy and education. This is going to be the starting spot of every single day. I hope I can energize you on Mondays, but you are going to get the same type of impact every single day of the week. I want you to keep your eye on the Diamond Factor experience and where we can take you. So again, this is Marty Jalove reminding you that whether you are trying to convince your dad to buy you more paper, whether you are trying to convince your boss to give you more responsibility or more money, whether you are convincing someone to buy your product or service, the product and service that you love, that you're good at, that they need, okay, If you are not having fun pitching that product or service, or pitching your ideas, your dreams, and your thoughts, if you're not having fun, then ladies and gentlemen, you are just selling too hard. Thank you very much.
Life is so fragile, and we're constantly reminded just how fragile life can be, especially when we or a loved one is told we have cancer. Cancer survivor myself, I can tell you, we still feel very alone in this journey.
There's a study that's been showing that patients who are socially isolated have a worse prognosis, have a worse outcome than patients who are socially interconnected.
Buddies for Life is a non-profit cancer support group for those whose life has been impacted by cancer. We'll match you with the perfect buddy. Humor, hope, heart, and hugs.
Humor, hope, heart, hugs, and a whole lot of love.
We're offering you a free membership, so please sign up today. Share this with your friends and family, and support this community in every way you can. No one should face cancer alone.
I am a chemo buddy for life.
We are a buddies network.
No one does cancer alone.
Be a buddy.
And we are all here for you as a community of love.
We are chemo buddies for life.
And if you've heard 3 words, you have cancer, for yourself or someone else, you belong with us at Chemo Buddies for Life.
Healing through connections.
Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? We just had Mr. Master Happiness come on, Mr. Marty. He never goes the other way and saying Mondays. He always brings the best when it comes to Monday. So thank you, Mr. Expert Marty, for coming on and just being a part of the Diamond Factor experience with Barbara Beckley and experts and friends. So I hope everybody's doing well. You know, it's April 19th. It's, oh my God, April is like halfway through. I mean, every time I think, I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, stop. But, you know, you can't stop. You can't stop the time. I always tell people there's one thing about time, you know, that people that talk about, you know, personal development, because I teach that too, different things. But people always talk about time management. Well, you know, you need to manage your time and you need to make sure that you're doing time things and this and that, you know, time management. And I keep telling, I want to say so bad, let's stop right there. You cannot manage time. I keep saying you can't manage time. You can only manage yourself with time, because time's going to keep going. Time is going to keep going. And talking about that, and there was, and I need to express, something happened yesterday that I found, and it wasn't good news at all. And I want to reverence a special angel, royalty queen, Pat. She was, to me, she still is a part of the Diamond family, because I also have a Diamond Factor group that I have, that I welcome people in, and you see different shows under there. You see me there. You see interviews that I do one-on-ones, and then you see some ladies that decide to come and do like a regular show every week. Well, Pat was doing her show every Monday. She'll do her show every Monday. Awesome. Talking about business strategies, finances, how to just up your business. Well, I found out yesterday that Pat passed away. She was in a tragic car accident, her and her mother. And basically, the accident, and she's no longer with us, her and her mother. It got to that point. Got instantly. So, I have a heavy heart right now. I found out around 10 o'clock last night from my other good friend, and she and her Pat are like this. She called me basically and told me what happened. So, the first thing was a big shock, and it still is kind of settling in, because anything when it comes to losing, a person, a friend or family member, it takes time. And I always tell people, remember I always say, deal with those emotions. Let those emotions flow. If it means crying, if it means screaming to the top of your lungs, if it means just sitting still somewhere and doing the Usha moment, like I always say. But I want people to understand that you have to do that first, and then you can move forward. Again, I'm talking about time. You need to take that time. That's that self-management that you're doing with your time to say, I need to take this in. And after I got off the phone with Barbara last night, I sat in my kitchen, because that's where I was with my computer. That's where I'm always at, with my laptop. And I sat here and I stopped. I stopped everything I was doing, and I sat back and took that time to really do a pause. And when I took that pause, I was thinking about everything that I'm doing, everything I know that other people are doing to try to, build their, we're all sitting here on a mission. We're all sitting here on a journey in life. Pat was on a journey in life, and hers stopped yesterday. And she didn't know that. She didn't know that was coming. We all have that expiration date, as another good friend always tells me, Luana Bradford. And we would always say, what are you doing in the middle of that? From the time that you're born to the time that you leave this earth. What is the middle? Pat did a whole lot in that middle. And then I told myself, I said, you know what? I'm going to sit back. I'm going to deal with these emotions, but I have to keep going. Because that would reverence her and a lot of other people that you might have lost in your lives right now. They would not want you to stop for a long period of time, because they were moving. They were going. They were building impact. They were building their empire. They were showing people hope. They were giving people services. They were giving people products to move forward. We can't stop that. That can never stop. We have to continuously go. That basically would put a smile on their face up there, instead of saying, okay, well, I'm just going to keep it, right here. Like today, this morning, I was even saying to myself, I said, I know I have my show. So there again, you make that decision. Are you going to go left and say, well, you know what, I'll just cancel? Or I'm going to go right, and I want to get on here, and I'm going to basically talk to you wonderful, amazing people out there to tell you that don't look at time management as managing time, as you can't do it, because you don't know what's going to happen. You have to manage yourself and make sure you're doing the things that you love. Now, Marty was just talking about your passion. And he hit home run when he said that, because you know me, I'm always talking about your PPD. I said, me and Marty, hey, I said, we're in sync. So he was talking about your passion. And when you finally understand what that is, you need to move forward in what you're doing, whatever you're doing. And I want you to ask that question for yourself today. I took out my favorite quote that I always kind of talk about, the 3 L's. Live, laugh, and love. Live, laugh, and love. Live every moment. Laugh every day. Love beyond words. These are mainly 3 main points that I believe that we need to live this every single day. I told myself, I said, I need to live every moment of the day, hopefully helping somebody, giving them some value. I need to laugh. I need to have a smile on my face. Like Marty said, he's a master of happiness. And we all understand we're human. We're not always going to be happy all the time. I wasn't happy last night. I wasn't happy this morning when I, finally got myself together. But see, there's a bigger picture. I said, Barbara, this is not about just you. This is not about you. This is about you having to be out there to help others to move forward if they're having grief or whatever's going on in your life. I had to keep reminding you about what's inside of you and that you have to let it out for others. And then love. I told you this world needs healing. We need to start really, truly loving each other. And I'm talking about loving each other, not just saying the word, but doing it. So I was thinking today, I said, I would like to bring on an interview I did a while ago, a wonderful young 13-year-old, Bula Ardifam. She basically is from Canada. And when I interviewed her last year, she put so much heart, so much love to show me that there's young people out there, the youth is understanding and knowing that there's issues out there that they know that love needs to happen. So I want to do an encore presentation of this interview. And I really want you just to see her heart, see how her music, her sound, like Barry would always say, her sound in her life is there to ring out freedom and to ring out peace in the world. So, like I said, I said this is something that is really needed. And I just have to just get this going here, set it up. And just take the time to really understand who she is talk about making it right, making a difference. And she's truly, truly a young queen that is making a difference. So Bolu is a 13-year-old singer-songwriter from Canada who between March and June of 2020 wrote 2 songs on important issues as we know the coronavirus and the Black Lives Matter movement. Her latter song titled Make It Right as the 2020 What Have You Become and goes on to ask, why are people so cruel? Touching on the listeners and her gentle call to action. Welcome, Queen, little Queen. I call all ladies queens, and you are a young queen. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. You are just out there just doing it and just making all the adults look bad. You're making all the older people have to get up and take some action here. So I am just so proud of you. Before we even start, I just, when I seen that you were coming on the show and reading and listening to your music and your song, especially about Make It Right, it's like you're just from like a different generation that just came in and said, look, you got to get this together. You got to listen to what I got to say. So maybe towards the end, you might be able to sing this a little bit of Make It Right. Hopefully, if you feel comfortable. But let's just get into asking some questions from you because this is, I guess I'm amazed. You're blowing my mind right now. So now, like I said, at your age and being this amazing singer, as I keep saying, please explain what inspired you to do what you do and wanted to sing and take on this journey.
Okay, well, I always love to sing. I've been singing for like so long. So I've always like just wanted to find ways to inspire people and like teach people in a way about things and like what's going around in the world because there's a lot we wouldn't know a lot of stuff if it wasn't for people sharing stuff. So what I did is I wanted to sing, and yeah, I used my music to share different stories and different perspectives that I have on different things. So yeah, I just wanted to share it with the world.
That's so awesome. Your voice is so beautiful. Like I said, I listened to them songs just the other day, and it's not just only the singing that you're singing, but you have power behind it, and there's a meaning for it. So going right into that, I know you wrote the two powerful songs concerning, what the world is dealing with right now. We have the virus, unfortunately, and then Black Lives Matter, which is the whole injustice what's going on in the world, as you can see. So, what made you use your voice, especially at the, like I said, age of 13, to just say, you know what, I'm not only going to sing and write, but there's a movement behind here. So what made you just say, I need to do this?
Okay, well, for my first, like the coronavirus song, what made me want to write that one is I just wanted everyone to know that we're all in this together and that they should, like, do the right things and try to stay safe to the best of their ability. And yeah, so that's the reasoning behind that one. And then for Make It Right, I was just seeing everything that's going on, and it's mind-boggling because it's been going on for like generations to generations, and it's still the same things happening, and you would think it'd get better, but I just enough is enough. And I saw all the riots and everything just going on, and I was like, this is not it. This is not right. We need to get better. We need to change, and we need to actually start loving each other, become a community, and just spread love and kindness, because that's the only way that we can, get better and heal. So I wrote a song and I put it on YouTube, hoping that people would see it and hoping that people would get the message I wanted them to take away from it, and they'd understand it and they'd feel, the pain, or they can't even feel the pain, partially the pain of what people have been going through. So that was my reasoning behind that one.
Wow, wow. Yeah, it is sad. I mean, just for you, I know you're looking at this on TV, you're hearing the news because it's all over, and people are dying from this. So, with you being your generation, now, what would you tell, your age group, in all generations, not just your age group, what do you think needs to happen to kind of make this change, to kind of change it from, like you said, showing the love and everything? What do you think really needs to be done?
I think we need to accept what happened in the past and what's continuing to happen. And we need to really just understand, everyone needs to just understand what's happening and not like look at it as just another thing happening. And we need to, take notice of it, even more notice. And then that's when you can start forgiving and, spreading love and healing. And yeah, so I think the first step is to just acknowledge, then you can forgive, and then you can heal.
Now I know you have other your friends and everything that you hang around with. Do you like talk? Do you all have like those type of talks and kind of make some changes like within like when you go to school, or I know you're probably, I don't know if you're homeschooled right now, but
Yeah.
Do you have those conversations with your friends to get them to understand that as well?
Well, not really. Like, I mean, we do the typical, like, just being kind to your teacher and classmates, but no, not necessarily those type of conversations.
Now, do you think, because since you're doing this, because you are, believe me, you're doing a movement here, you are making a big change. So do they say things to you? Because it's like this is different than like you said, the normal day that you would talk to your friends. What do they say to you by what you're doing as far as your music and
They're
singing?
Oh, sorry, they're really
Go ahead.
yeah, it's great. Some of my friends commented on my videos and on my songs, so it's amazing. Honestly, they're really supportive, and I love them. So yeah.
Oh, so they totally understand why you're doing it. I mean, you're a beautiful singer, but they understand that there is a meaning behind it as well, right? Awesome, awesome. So now again, making such a big change at your age, truly teaching us, and like I said earlier, you're teaching adults how to stand our truth and how to stand and to go out there, to believe the changes need to happen in the world. What would some of your future goals look like? I mean, I know you're 13 years old, so you have a long way to go with a lot of things. What is like one or two things that you're thinking about, moving ahead of what you're doing now?
Okay, let me say three. So something closer is just continuing to write more songs, music videos, remixes, continuing to inspire people with my music and writing about more messages and different things. And then number two is probably hopefully to get bigger and continue to inspire people kind of around the same thing. Get into the high school I want. Yeah, and then number three is probably to become a pilot. I do air cadet. That's one of my big goals. Yeah, that's my job.
You want to be a pilot when you get older?
Yes, I do.
Oh my God, look at you. So now what inspired you? Now you got me asking another question. Now what inspired you to say, I want to be a pilot when I get older?
When I was 6 years old, actually, we went on a plane. It was to South Africa to go visit my family members, and I just loved everything about it. And when I got older, I went to programs, Girls Take Fright and Jazz, different incorporations to help you advance your knowledge on aircrafts, and just I got to do a airplane simulation, which was amazing. But someone told me that going on a plane, you can't really get the full experience just because, you're with different people on a commercial plane. So then I got to go on a private plane, and yeah, it was amazing. It was with my mom too. And she was like, oh, because, when it's going down, it's a little bit more shaky. You can feel it more, but it was, I loved it. So.
Wow. And I know your mother was like, I can't believe that we're on this plane. So I know there's not too many. Now I'm thinking there's not that many women pilots out there. So you would be making another huge change. I think that's like your middle name now. You're just a movement, and you just say, there's going to be some change. I don't care what people say. I'm here to just put it out there. You're an advocate for change, and I'm loving every minute, because we need to multiply you. We really do. We need to multiply you and have other young ladies out there doing what you're doing. So I wish the best for you about what you want to do as far as being a pilot, because like I said, I don't think there's that many ladies out there. So you'd be taking on another change to head on, so people can say, you know what, maybe I could do it too. She did it, I could do it.
Inspiring people to reach out and do their dreams.
Yes. So now, what would you say? Now, I know singing is one of them, but what would you say is one of your other superpowers that you have, and why?
Oh, one of my superpowers is probably I do public speaking as well. Yeah. So at school, I used to do speeches. And when we go back to school later, I'm not sure if we're still going to do them, but I would do public speaking, and I'd move on into different levels. And yeah, so I think that's one of my strengths.
One of many of your superpowers, I can tell. Yeah. Now, which you're speaking, what kind of public speaking do you do? Is it like more motivational or some?
Yes, it's motivational based. So we all have to do a speech at my school. So you just have to choose a topic and kind of just, speak on it. So last year I spoke about just self-love and feeling good in your own body. And yeah, people love that speech. So yeah.
See, now you're a speaker, you want to be a pilot. Boy, you're teaching us how to say, stop all this hatred and stuff and show love and everything. I don't know. I don't know. After a little while, I'm not gonna be able to talk to you. So I'm so glad that I can say today that I was able to interview your awesomeness, because you'll probably be like, I don't have time. I got so much stuff going on, people. And that's good. So now, before I ask this other question, would you mind singing just a little bit of one of your songs? Really good for you.
Okay. 2020, what have you become? I'm just wondering what's going on. Why Why are people so cruel? What was done to you? People preaching truth, they're getting ignored. Don't even know what to do anymore. Have they not realized that it's time to make it right? What am I seeing through my eyes? When will they just apologize? Enough of all this crime. Now it's time to make it right. 2020, what have you become? I'm just wondering what's going on. Why are people so cruel? What was done to you? People preaching truth, getting ignored. Don't even know what to do anymore. Have they not realized that it's time to make it? What am I seeing from my eyes? When will they just apologize? Enough of all this crying. Now it's time to make it. Enough of wasted lives. This is wrong, no, it ain't fine. And we all just stop for a fight and make it right. Yes, that song. Thank you.
No, thank you. That all. I mean, I was listening to it the other night because I brought it up to listen to it, and then when you're singing it, you can just hear the soothing of the healing that's needed for this world. So thank you. Whew, that's
I'm glad you liked it.
oh my God, glad I liked it. The whole world loves this. And just the words, of saying, we need to make it right. We really need to make it right. And we need to, I mean, I always tell people we're to this point now, this level is there's no other way but going better instead of going back, because we've been going back now. So it's time to move forward. And when people hear, music coming out of you and of the young generation, somewhere we have to tell ourselves we have to get it right. We have to be better. So thank you so much for sharing your gifts. Now, is there any last words that you would like to say to the audience? I mean, I know the music alone said the last, but I want to say to the audience.
I just want to say to whether you're young or old, there's no limit to not only, reaching your dreams, but speaking out. Because a lot of people are afraid of speaking out because they're afraid what other people will think. But, just ignore those other people. There will always be other people. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep loving what you're doing, and just stay passionate. Just do what you want to do. And yeah, if you want to follow up with me, you can always follow up with me on my socials. I have Instagram, Facebook. Instagram's Blue Sings 1, as well as my Facebook, and my YouTube's Blue Sings, capital B, capital S. So yeah, you can check out any of my socials. Even TikTok I have. So yeah.
Wonderful. I'm glad. It's funny. I was going to ask you about, how they can contact you, and you went flowed right into it. So thank you for letting everybody know where they can contact you. And I'll also make sure when I post your interview that they know where to contact you, where to hear your lovely voice and see all what you're trying to do to make this world a much better place than what we need to make it. So thank you so much, young queen. That's what I'm talking about. I had to show that particular interview again, an encore interview of her. That she's 13 years old and she gets it. She gets it. And she's telling her other friends, and she's a powerhouse in Canada right now. She won some awards. I mean, that was last year, early last year, I think, that I interviewed her. And since that point, I need to bring her back on. I need to interview her again because I know she has been blowing up Canada and in the United States of her music that is causing this connection of love, that's showing that we don't have to do the hatred that's out there. That's not needed. What needed is we need to come together as people. And to hear a 13-year-old, I think she's turned 14. Yeah, she just turned 14 recently. To hear her talk the way she was talking and pleading out through her music that it was needed right now, right now. So I want to end off again by going back to 3 L's. And because I feel like it's really necessary, especially now, things are going to happen in our lives. We're going to lose some loved ones. We're going to lose some friends. We're going to lose families. We're going to lose maybe different projects that we might be on. We might lose certain careers that we don't like. But the door, we always got to make sure that looking at the bigger picture of it, it's just another stepping stone, as I always say, to your strength in your life. So look at it in that case, own those feelings, own those emotions at the beginning, whatever's going on. And then from that point, use that as motivation to move forward in what you're trying to do in life. And know that the people that are here with you and the people that have passed want you to be that tool to move forth and help others. As I always say, when you have that foundation, no matter what shakes you, the earthquakes in life, the hurricanes in life, when you know your PPD, your purpose, your passion, and your drive, as I always say, that's your diamond factor, as I put it like that. That means you can conquer the world because you're set right here because you know who you are. Because you know who you are. So with that, we will be back on Wednesday. Boy, it's getting to the point because May's coming around the corner and we're going to have a whole full week of the Diamond Factor experience. Yay, I'm getting excited like a little kid. But with that said, remember the 3 L's. Live every moment, laugh every day, love beyond words. Call somebody up today. Shoot a text, whatever you have to do to tell them how much you care about them. Tell them how amazing they are. Tell them how wonderful they are. And always remember to always make sure that you tell them that they have a genius in them. And that's their PPD. That's what I call the Diamond Factor. See you on Wednesday. Bye.